Lines coming through with Samsung right now. A bit of a correction from what I said earlier when it comes to the net income numbers for the second quarter, actually coming in at 10.8 trillion won. Still a sizable beat from the estimate of 9.75 trillion won. We're also getting the breakdown in terms of the business units out of the company. Second quarter chip business operating profit coming in at 8.03 trillion won, a sizable jump from what we saw quarter on quarter versus the 6.3 trillion print that we saw in the first quarter, also nearly 4 times more than what we saw from a year ago. So we can see just how increasingly the presence of chips is in the business for Samsung. The mobile business coming in at 4.06 trillion for operating profit, which is a slightly less than what we saw from a year ago. So could be this Note 7 scandal, still a little bit of a downtrend there. But overall, the recovery has been quite substantial as well with the Galaxy S8 launch. Also want to talk about display business coming at 1.7 trillion. So that is also been slightly higher than what we saw from the first quarter as well as a year ago. Let's bring in Claire Kim now to dissect all this one. Right now, she's the Daishen Securities analyst, and she joins us live from Seoul. So Claire, just take a look at some of these lines so far. What was your initial take on the second quarter for Samsung?
So as you know, Samsung is going to announce its second quarter earnings soon, and I expect the actual numbers will be a little bit higher than its preliminary earnings, which was announced 3 weeks ago. So its operating profit preliminary numbers were 14 trillion Korean won and the profit of 11 trillion Korean won. But I think 0.2 or 0.3 trillion won more than that in terms of the operating profit and the profit as well.
We saw in terms of the breakdown, chips seems to be still the star. I mean, 8.3 trillion won. Put that into context because it really has been about this super cycle and chip prices. We know demand has been very strong. How long can Samsung stay in this sweet spot right now?
I think the chip price strength can be continuing by the end of this year at least. Why? Because currently the demand of these chips come from SNS companies or platform companies from US and Chinese market. And those customers of Samsung, they are not sensitive to chip prices. I say rising chip prices, which means that they are ready to buy chips, semiconductor chips, at a higher price from Samsung. So I expect these fast rising chip prices can go by the end of this year, and that will help earnings growth of Samsung Electronics as well.